Hello, let's do a hypothesis test for proportions. Hypothesis test requires a lot of steps, and we want to use the technology in my stat lab, StatCrunch, as much as possible. So here, let's go. A presidential candidate claims most of the voters prefer him. Yeah, I understand that. A random sample of 2,000 voters shows 1,050 voters prefer the candidate. Test the candidate's claim at the alpha equal 0.05 level of significance. Okay, whenever we're doing a hypothesis test, first step is to state your hypotheses. Okay, so we want to state our hypotheses. We have a null and an alternate hypothesis. Use that order, use the colon, there's not just random. Okay, I always look at the claim to understand what I should be putting for my hypothesis, the claim or the question. And here, the claim is that most of the voters prefer him, right? Most of the voters prefer him. Most is more than 50%. So we say P greater than 50% or 0.5. The inequality always goes in the alternate, always goes in the alternate. And we can use P equal 0.5. So if we disprove equality, we're going to prove inequality, and that's the method. All right, now we're going to use this in the p-value method, but we are asked the test statistic. We are asked this test statistic. Okay. Now I can use z equal p hat. We'll call this p hat. That means it comes from the sample. Minus p over the square root of P1 minus P divided by N. Okay, I can use that. Okay, P hat, that's coming from the sample. What is the proportion in the sample? Okay, 1,050 prefer out of 2,000. And that's 0.525. 0.525. Okay, so yeah, 1,050 divided by 2,000, 0.525. And I can put that in here, 0.525 without the hat. That's what I'm testing against. That's what I'm testing against. The 0.5. And that's coming from my hypotheses. It's what I'm testing against. So without the top, the p hat, it's coming from the population, right? Coming from the population when we write it like this, and it's coming from the sample when we write it without that. So yeah, I follow the notation, I plug it in, I put the 0.5, 1 minus 0.5 over the square root of n, which is n is the sample size of 2,000. Okay, I can do it this way. I can do it this way, and there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe I've got to be good with my calculator. Use your fraction button. Type in what you see. All right. Well, I've got StatCrunch, right? I want to use StatCrunch. Let's see if I can remember to go to my desktop and go to StatCrunch. All right. So yeah, let's take the data. It's written over there, but but I'll go into stat. This is a proportion, one sample. And it's not a list of numbers, it's the summary. Okay, so if I'm going to do it here, okay, I'll do the summary. All right, number of successes, this is in the sample, that was 1,050. Number of observations, 2,000. We are coincidentally testing against 50%. You know, I could change that, but I am testing against. Most is more than 50%. Okay. All right, and I'll throw that in there. Okay, let's see if I get some good stuff. Wow, what do you know? I'm going to write that down. I got Z equal 2.236, p-value all right, the p-value equal to the 0.0127. All right, that's what I needed. Hey, is this one of two? Is it going to give me more stuff? Ooh, yeah. Oh, okay, so I asked for the chart. It looks like this. It looks like this. This area is 0.127. Standard normal distribution. Z would be 2.236. Okay, let's go back to what I was writing. All right, so all right, so I wrote down the test statistics. MyStatLab, they asked for hypotheses. That was a multiple choice. Test statistic, p-value, and then we need some kind of a decision. We need a decision. When the p-value is less than the level of significance, here it's 0.127, it is less than the level of significance was 0.05. We reject the null hypothesis. When we reject the null hypothesis, that means we accept the alternate hypothesis. So the data supports the candidate's claim. The candidate's claim let's go ahead and write out what that claim is instead of just leaving it random. Right? Maybe get a little more. That most voters prefer him. Most voters prefer him. At the 0.05 level of significance. Okay. The 0.05 level of significance, which is to say that the data is statistically significant. Statistically significant. All right, there you go. That's it. I could have used the formula to get the 2.236, but I went straight to my MyStatLab and used StatCrunch. All right, hope that helps. And let's stop that video and enjoy.